Hello everyone, welcome to Bonnie Carol Lee Makes Cards. Today's card features a few products from Simon Says Stamp. This is one of those cards that started off as one thing and ended up another. I struggled to find the right background for this beautiful spray of flowers, but finally decided on reverse polka background. On a panel of Bristol Smooth cardstock, the background was stamped with Distress Oxide inks, blue jeans, milled lavender, and shaded lilac. To soften the white polka dots, I went over the entire panel with a blending brush and milled lavender. The spray of flowers was stamped and embossed in gold, also on Bristol Smooth cardstock. I mapped out the colors that I was going to use on this image. Using a blending brush, I applied milled lavender, faded jeans, and tumbled glass. Not only does this process help me decide on the colors that I want to use, it also fills in all the background bits because I did know that I would be fussy cutting this image. The detailed coloring was done with Zig markers. Working with water-based markers is a fast and easy way to get that watercolor look. The colors that I chose were comparable to the background with a couple of exceptions. For each flower, I worked a section at a time, applying the color first to the base of the petal and then using a water brush to pull that color up. Because the image is embossed, there is no need to worry about painting flower petals that are adjacent to one another. The embossed lines help to contain the wet paint, and the color will not be wicked over to the petal next to it. The images are relatively small, and the coloring goes very quickly. I personally find that water brush markers work best on Bristol Smooth cardstock as opposed to watercolor paper. The color seems to flow more evenly. Bristol Smooth is not only my cardstock of choice for blending inks. Because it can withstand a little bit of water without causing the paper to pill or warp, it is a good choice when working with watercolor brush pens. As I mentioned earlier, I wasn't sure exactly where I was going with this card. I had created a couple of other backgrounds for this spray of flowers before deciding on the polka dot background. I liked the flowers, and so I persevered. Unfortunately, during this long quest, I did not end up filming everything. I found the process to be quite instructive. I wasn't prepared to discard what I liked, and so I kept working at it until I found something that was pleasing to my eye. Perseverance isn't something that comes naturally to me. I can't even tell you how long this spray of flowers sat on my desktop just waiting for its background to be created. And so in the end, I'm not sure that I am displaying these flaws because the card is so great or because the process was so intense. I am sure that I am like most people, where sometimes the creative energy flows and other times you just have to grind it out. And so it was with this card. With the coloring coming to a close, I will have to describe to you how I completed this card, because of course I didn't film it. After the image was fussy cut, it was mounted on white sheet foam. Bristol Smooth cardstock was ink blended with faded jeans and shaded lilac to emboss the sentiment on. The sentiment from Happy Days was embossed with gold and also mounted on white sheet foam. The flowers and the sentiment were adhered to a card base that was A2 sized and finished up with a few drops of Nuvo Crystal Drops Mustard Gold. And that wraps up this card featuring Simon Says Stamp's sketched flowers, Happy Days, and reverse polka background. As always, I appreciate your visit.